Hello, I am Intan Fatmasari. I am from Group 1, Class A2, English Education Department 2019. In this occasion, I would like to share with you about my reflection in critical listening final project. So, my topic is about gender roles in society. My initial perspective about gender roles in society is I thought gender roles are natural in society. I felt gender roles cannot oppose or even change. So, what influenced my initial perception? I think it was because in the past I thought it is a form of male and female nature. In addition, the culture and religion regarding gender that has been growing in society for a long time have been agreed upon all people, so that in the past I could only agree with the issue. Then, what video related to the topic have I watched? Most of the video that I watch is from TED Talk. The other are video from video conversation with speaker exchange their opinion. The content is about gender roles in society, such as gender roles and socialization, the future of gender roles, why men's traditional gender roles are changing, gender stereotype, and etc. I think most of the videos are trustworthy because they come from credible sources with the factual evidences. Okay, next, if we talk about speaker perspective about this topic, the speaker were against the issue of gender roles. They give their argument and strengthen with evidences from various previous research. I agree that someone's sex does not automatically tell us what their gender roles are going to be. This is very significant to show that who we are as men and women can shift from culture to culture. So, if it just because of biology chromosomes, it would be not a valid measurement of gender roles. However, the speakers from the video make I believe and what make it relate to me. They deliver their argument with a logical and objective way. They provide tangible evidence and reliable sources. Besides that, some of them are starting their speech with their personal stories that support with research data. Therefore, I feel relieved and it makes my mind open to the topic of gender roles in society. Then, my final personal perspective about gender roles in society is the way society defines us is not the definition what our story is about. So, in writing our own autobiography, we should not write what society wants, but what we choose to write about. Now, I will say that I disagree with the standard of law of gender roles and stereotype in society. People's sexual orientation has seen in the way they look on and the way they act. But sex and gender are not the same things. Our actions are not genetically predestined. They are learned behavior. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Fitri Kusumanastuti from Group 1, Class A2, English Education Department at 11 Maret University. Now, it's my turn to share my reflection about our group topic, that is gender roles in society. My perspective about gender roles in society, in our environment, it is still seen that they divide humans based on the gender, without them knowing that in fact gender does not only consist of men and women. I initially knew that gender was not only divided into men and women, but I don't know deeply what gender really is. And in my opinion, due to lack of knowledge about gender roles and gender itself, our society creates what is called gender stereotypes, which limits someone's space for movement. For example, our society often dictates someone what someone should do and should not based on their gender, such as it is very often too heard in our environment that married women should stay at home, don't need to work, just take care of the household, while men have to work to meet household needs. I myself actually disagree with the concept of gender roles and gender stereotype that exist in our society, because it makes someone cannot express themselves and can't get the right to freedom of what they want to do and feel burdened by these social views. My opinion influenced by social media that sometimes discuss about it, and then video that I watch for extensive reading subject about feminism. Related to the topic, gender roles in society, I've watched video from TED Talks, listened to a song and podcast at Spotify, and also some talk show on YouTube. From the sources, I think most of them are against these issues about gender roles in society. Take example from video's collaboration between TED and Lilia From. In that video, she mentioned the society sees women who being a boss are considered as a bitch. The tone when she speak, I think she disagree with that statement. Another disagreement of gender roles mentioned on videos by author of The Parents' Phrase book with Hania. He mentioned that kids can be anything. Girls can be strong, boys can be strong. Girls can be sensitive, also boys can be sensitive. He also talks about how he and his wife share a household, where he washes clothes while his wife fixes the furniture because his wife is better at it. I think that breaks social stereotypes about gender roles when only women have responsibility to take care of the household. I relate the most with the speaker when they share their experiences related to gender roles and society. I relate when one speaker with Honia gives story experience on how his and his wife share household. In my house, all members of my family sharing household where my mom cooking, my brother wash the dishes, meanwhile I do sweeping the floor and doing a laundry. When the speaker gives strong arguments about the issues, then supported by a valid data, that also convinced me. Like arguments of gender stereotypes in childhood can affect adulthood and affect people negatively, supported by articles from the frontiers in psychology. My final perspective is still unchanged from the initial perspective, where I do not agree with gender roles because it limits a person's space for movement. A person cannot express himself and does not get the freedom to do what they want to do. But after I watch a video and listen to some sources about these issues, I got new knowledge that parental education has a big role in children's view on gender roles. I also realized that everyone has a responsibility to not depend on others and to be able to take care of themselves. I mean, like everyone should know about basic skills like cooking that not only women should be able, but men should be able to.
Hello, I'm Ivana from class A2 English Education Department 19. Here, I would like to give my reflection about the video that I've watched before related to the topic gender and social roles. So here, I would like to give my initial perspective and my perspective after I watched the video. So let's go. So my general initial perspective towards this topic. I think I disagree with this topic because when in the social roles, we have to give a limit about related to the gender. It's not appropriate. what makes me think that way, because in my in my community, in my social life, in my real life here, there are a lot of people that can work not based on the gender, but out there still there are occupation or specific roles that have to be done by male or female, by men or women, something like that. And the videos that I've watched related to the topics are speech, mostly from TED, from TED, and I also watch the short clip related to the gender and social roles and the song. And also I watch the lecturer about gender and social role. So from the video that I've watched, mostly the speakers tend to be natural, but tend to be against the topic, the gender and social roles. And what makes me relate the most with the material or with their opinion is they give the real evidence about their experience, and their give a view, give us something perspective that really relate to me as a watcher. And my final perspective about this topic about gender and social role is, I still disagree if people still have a limit to do something based on their gender, because in modern era, like right now, we can see that a lot of people, a lot of women can lead, can be a leader, or men can doing the work that usually be done by women, such as cooking and cleaning and the other job. I think it's not necessary that we still have a specific roles based on the gender in this era, because everyone can do the things that they can. And so I disagree with this topic. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hani Arum Permatasari from class A2 group 1. My group topic is about gender and social roles. My initial perspective on gender and social roles is that gender stereotypes have no effect on a person's life. Because since childhood we are accustomed to pink for women, blue for men, and sports are usually done by men, also jobs like teachers and nurses are women-only jobs. This has become commonplace, and for us, this is not a significant problem. But after seeing some of the videos we choose or we found on YouTube, we realized that gender stereotypes have a huge impact on our lives. Everyone who carries out activities is always based on gender. Gender roles are strongly influenced by the culture that is inherent in society as a result of gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes are influenced by several factors, and the most basic is the influence of how parents educate their children. Actually, parenting has a big role in a person's perspective because everyone's first education is in the family. Young children will do what they are told and imitate what the adults around them do. For example, when a little boy has to play a car, choose blue, be directed to be a policeman, a soldier, and must be strong. While a little girl has to choose a Barbie, give all pink clothes, and lead to become a teacher or nurse. In society, gender and roles are still highly compared compartmentalized, like women should be at home, should not lead, and so on. But actually, women also have the potential to do jobs that men can do. Likewise, with men, society has too much perspective that a man should not cry, must always be strong, must always have a job and hike a position, and etc. In fact, men also can feel all kinds of feeling. Men can also feel pressured because of all the stereotypes that have been labeled on them. My view now, for men and women have actually have equal opportunities in work and in all aspects of life as well as feelings. There is no need for certain standards to be set in roles of each gender in society's social life. All my videos come from YouTube. My types of videos are film clips, short film, speech, and podcasts. I think all my videos are trustworthy videos because some of the speakers are experts in the field of gender and social roles. And the most important thing is that some of the cases discussed in the video are actually happening in our lives. And the speakers made me realize that gender stereotypes severely limit a person's movement based on gender. The speakers provided valid data, shared their stories, and provided examples of gender stereotypes in everyday life. In all the videos I choose, the speakers were against gender stereotypes as well as Group 1 members. They shared with me against gender stereotypes. However, I feel that not all things in everyday life can be freed. We also still have to have limits in doing something. Because I'm a Muslim, I think a woman still has to dress like women and men still has to dress like men. Thank you.
Our initial perspective about gender roles in society is we thought gender roles are natural in society. It was seen humans divided based on gender, without them knowing that in fact gender does not only consist of men and women. Some people think this is not a serious problem because they are used to and comfortable with what they are doing. The lack of understanding of gender issues creates stereotypes in society. We thought these stereotypes and gender roles could not be opposed or even changed. As a human who lives in society, we can be more flexible in doing certain roles. We can do everything that we want to do, and we can get the same right regardless of our gender. Everyone is the same. Let's not stereotype and define any gender into specific roles.